This is Father Andrew Ritchie, and you're listening to Catholic Inspiration, a podcast from my website at studyprayserve.com. These homilies, presentations, and retreats form part of my ministry as a Catholic priest for the Diocese of Superior. And now I invite you to open your hearts to some Catholic inspiration. Today is Wednesday of the second week of Lent. Our Gospel reading is Matthew chapter 20, verses 17 to 28. As Jesus was going up to Jerusalem, he took the 12 disciples aside by themselves. And he said to them on the way, "Behold, we are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be handed over to the chief priests and the scribes, and they will condemn him to death, and hand him over to the Gentiles to be mocked and scourged and crucified. And he will be raised on the third day." Then the mother of the sons of Zebedee approached Jesus with her sons, did him homage, wishing to ask him for something. He said to her, "What do you wish?" She answered him, "Command that these two sons of mine sit, one at your right and the other at your left in your kingdom." Jesus said in reply, "You do not know what you are asking. Can you drink the chalice that I am going to drink?" They said to him, "We can." He replied, "My chalice you will indeed drink, but to sit at my right and at my left, that is not mine to give, but is for those for whom it has been prepared by my Father." When the 10 heard this, they became indignant at the two brothers. But Jesus summoned them and said, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, that the great ones make their authority over them felt. But it shall not be so among you. Rather, whoever wishes to be great among you shall be your servant. Whoever wishes to be first among you shall be your slave. Just so the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." Yesterday we heard about this notion of humble service. And so keep that image in mind. Keep that notion that we had, that this desire that Jesus has on his teaching to direct us in an outward flow towards others with a humble heart, a modest view of ourselves, and an awareness of the needs, the circumstances of those around us, an outward direction of our energy and our focus. Well, here today, the Lord's trying to explain what's going to happen in Jerusalem, and it's ugly. I can only imagine the shock, awe, incomprehension on the part of the disciples. They're alone. They're just with Jesus. He's taken them aside, and he's explaining what's going to happen. How can they even begin to fathom this? You know, you look at this and you reflect and they go, at the best, they're in shock and awe. And at the worst, it's passing right over their heads. They don't comprehend how this is going to play out. The horror of the crucifixion of Jesus, let alone an Easter day that's spoken of here, to be raised up. What does that mean? So they're trying to decipher this. It's not making a lot of sense. They're struggling. And in the next scene, we have this notion of, I want my two boys to have places of honor in heaven. One on your right, one at your left. It's almost as if now the indignation and the struggle, the tension in the room, everybody's upset. It's almost like the teaching Jesus had about humble service. Whatever. Here what we have to focus on is that this is a very human response. We all have a deep desire to be loved, to be acknowledged, to be respected, to be cherished, to have people care about us, to be somebody's big deal, somebody's attention and focus. We want people to notice us. We want to be loved, especially by people we love and care about. So here you have this huge rift between the 12. And Jesus gives you a way forward, right? Hey, everybody, I love how he just summons them. Whoever wishes to be great gets to be a servant. A servant. And if you want to be first, be like a slave. In other words, pour out your life for others without thought or reflection on yourself. This is an amplification of what we heard yesterday. Care for each other. Look out for each other. serve each other. And in that outward flow, you'll be carrying out what needs to happen. And think about it, friends, because at the beginning here, we understand the Paschal mystery, the saving death and resurrection of Jesus. That's what we have here. Well, Jesus, outward direction, is going to pour out his precious blood. He's going to die for us. He's going to take our place on the cross. God is going to do a saving action for us. The invitation today then is, all right, how do we serve and share? How do we help? How do we make it better? How do we heal, unite, strengthen? How do we face those crosses, those difficulties, those hardships, and strive to help the people who are in the middle of it? The context here is still the looming shadow of the cross with a hope of resurrection. All right, then we're going to have to face our crosses with Easter hope. We're going to have to engage the difficult moments in life with the promise that death is not the end. We have hope, and we can take that hope to face the struggles of life, knowing that God will help us. God will walk with us. God will strengthen us. And the path forward, to serve, to share our lives, to be a blessing with those God sets before us today. God bless you all. This is Father Andrew, and I hope this podcast inspires your faith. Now, if you found it helpful, please share it with a friend. And you can help me by leaving a rating and a review. I keep all my listeners in my daily prayers, and I ask for your prayers in return. God bless you, my friends.